So as somebody who's had the best 1 year skinny fat to rip transformation, then gone on several bulks, several cuts, gotten ripped multiple times, and then started Better Lifestyle 365, which is a business that focuses on getting skinny fat men to their ripped physique, there are several foods I never have my guys have while we're cutting, because they make it substantially harder to stay under a calorie limit every single day, hit our protein goal while staying satiated. And listen, these foods are not bad. It's not that these foods make it impossible for you to get ripped, they just make it substantially harder. So if you're really serious about getting to your dream physique, listen up, because I used to make the mistake of having these foods, then wonder why I was stuck, why I was plateauing, why I wasn't getting the definition that I was truly looking for. Now I'm about to show you guys, but if you want to know what you should be eating every single day, stick around to the end and I'll walk you through that as well. But food number one is peanut butter. Now a lot of people go to peanut butter as a protein source or a healthy food, and listen, peanut butter isn't bad for you. It's not gonna naturally make you gain weight, but the problem is peanut butter is very calorically dense, meaning only 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is, as you can see, 190 calories for only 7 grams of protein. Now for the same amount of calories, you could have 8 ounces, half a pound of grilled chicken breast. And guess how much protein is in that? 44 grams. So that makes it substantially easier to hit your protein goal every single day. And what do you think is going to fill you up more? 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or half a pound of grilled chicken? Keep in mind, you could also put on some sugar-free hot sauce, some sugar-free ketchup, just to make it as tasty as possible. Now, for a similar reason, I also avoid peanuts. Food number 2 is peanuts, because peanuts are very calorically dense. Same thing as peanut butter. What do you think is going to fill you up more? 2 handfuls of peanuts or a pound of grilled chicken breast? Obviously, the grilled chicken breast. So if you go to peanuts as a protein source, just understand that you can have much more satiating options. Most people don't just have a handful of peanuts and they're full. Most people need a lot more food, and that's why you want to opt for more calorically sparse foods, which I'll get into in the end of the video. Food number 3 may surprise a lot of people, but it is oats. Now, oats are a traditionally healthy food, but as you guys know, healthy foods don't make you ripped. You need to have a game plan, a system, eating in a calorie deficit with your protein maximized in order to get that dream ripped, lean physique. And the problem with oats is not that they're necessarily really high in calories, but they're majority carbs. They are a carb source, not a protein source. And if you know anything about getting ripped, you don't need carbs. They're not essential. Yes, they're good for like pre-workout, a little bit post-workout, but other than that, you shouldn't really be consuming much carbs. You should keep your calories as low as possible and your protein as high as possible. And oats don't really fit into that description. Another hot take is rice. White rice, brown rice, doesn't matter. I never have it when I'm cutting. Same reason of oats. Carbs are not essential. Yes, they can be good pre-workout, they can be good post-workout, but you don't need them. When I'm cutting, I want my calories as low as possible, so the fat loss is as fast as possible while the protein is maximized. That helps me get as ripped as possible, and that's how I have these crazy fast transformations. And listen, it's not like I go on these extreme diets. They're still sustainable. They're still fairly straightforward and easy to stick to every single day, because I opt for foods that are very physically big, calorically sparse, so I can have a ton of food still fits into my calorie deficit. Food number 4, pasta. I don't have pasta when I'm cutting because it is a carb source, and as you guys can understand, I don't prioritize carbs. They are not essential. If you cut out carbs from your diet, nothing bad would happen. If you cut out fats, your hormones would crash. If you cut out protein, you'd get skinny fat and probably die. But if you cut out carbs, nothing bad happens, because they're not essential, and they're specifically not essential for you getting ripped. Food number 5 keeps a lot of people stuck because they either don't track it, or if they do track it, they underestimate how many calories are truly in it, and that is butter. Butter is extremely calorie dense. 1 tablespoon of butter is 100 calories. 1 tablespoon. So a lot of people cook with it, they don't track it. But listen, if you're stuck and you're cooking with butter, start tracking your butter, or start weighing it out or measuring it so you know exactly how much you're eating, because it is extremely calorically dense. And if you're constantly low in fats every single day, yes, having some butter is going to be beneficial because you need it to build your hormones. It is the foundation of your testosterone, which is essential for building muscle. But if you're already getting your fats in every single day, maybe you have cheese with your chicken, maybe you have some eggs, some avocado, you naturally hit your fat goal every single day. And if you don't know, at least 0.4 grams of fat per pound of body weight that you weigh. So if you weigh 200 pounds, at least get 80 grams of fat in per day. But most people get that naturally. They just focus on their protein goal, and naturally through secondary sources, they'll hit their minimum fat goal. Now this 6th food is gonna be something that pisses a lot of people off, but it is bread, bagels, And the same reason I don't have these is the same reason I don't have rice or pasta. It's unnecessary carbs. Nobody's getting full off of 2 slices of bread when I could dedicate those calories to having more chicken, having more lean meat, something that's actually gonna fill me up, maybe some Greek yogurt, something like that. But bread, I'm not really getting full off that, and as a former fat kid, I have a really big appetite, so I can't afford to spend 200, 300 calories on some bread when I can spend it towards something that's really calorically sparse, but physically big and potentially high in protein. That always helps. And last but not least is oil. The same reason I don't have oil, it doesn't matter what kind of oil you have, the same reason I don't have oil is the same reason I don't have butter. So many calories, obviously no protein, and it's extremely calorically dense, more calorically dense than butter. Now listen, if you are deficient in your fat for the day, yes, oil is a good healthy fat source, but most people will put 2-3 tablespoons while they're cooking into their meal and then wonder why they're stuck, why their weight has plateaued. So let me give you some context. If you're eating in a 500 calorie deficit every single day, that should have you losing about 1 pound of body fat every single week. But if you put 3 tablespoons of olive oil into your meal, that cuts it down to only 140 calorie deficit every single day. It only has you losing about 1/4 of a pound of body fat per week. That's how calorically dense, that's how big of an impact it can have. Now listen, I don't want you guys to fear these foods. If you're diligent with your tracking, if you weigh out your food and you know exactly what's going into your body, you can eat whatever you want and still get lean. But these foods, like I said in the beginning, make it substantially harder. So some of the foods I typically have when I'm cutting are like watermelon, Greek yogurt, lean meats like 93% lean ground turkey, 93% lean ground beef, maybe some grilled chicken breast, maybe some sugar-free jello, sugar-free popsicles. Really, I just eat foods that are extremely calorically sparse, foods that are really big but low in calories so they really fill me up, and also foods that are very high in protein. Once I swapped over to those foods, not only did fat loss become 10 times easier, but it also made the progress 10 times faster. If you want to know how many calories and how much protein you specifically should eat, you can book a call with me in the description below. We can chop it up and build you a game plan to get you ripped. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you like the video. It really helps with the algorithm. And make sure you subscribe if you're serious about getting lean. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And follow me on Instagram if you want daily motivation for my 4 a.m. 50 push-ups every single morning. I'll catch you guys.